The royals asking, why doesn't Harry wake up? We believe that talks have already taken place to help the village idiot get out of this controlling marriage. He's dreadfully unhappy. He makes this clear every time he appears in public. The royal family is well aware that Meghan Markle will be just Meghan Markle again without Harry. It will all be over and the royal fool will be free once more. But he won't be free to cause havoc again. He'll be practically held under house arrest until his future role can be decided. He won't be 100% happy with the agreement. But he'll be much happier than he is now. For Harry, it will be the lesser of two evils. But how embarrassing. The royals must have shaken their heads in disbelief when they heard the blatant lie the actress told in the podcast about crying and being in shock with fear after the fire in Archie Fishel's nursery while on the tour in South Africa. Of course, she added that the uncaring royal family forced to continue with royal duties. Strange how such a dangerous episode involving a royal baby was not reported at the time. Strange how Omid Scobie didn't pounce on this and broadcast it the world over. Even stranger that it wasn't even mentioned in Finding Freedom, and absolutely staggering that she didn't mention it to Oprah. Yet another falsehood from the woman who thinks it's quite normal to openly lie. Oh, Harry, the hopeless man-child forced by his first wife to make an embarrassing cameo appearance in the narcissist's Spotify podcast, just like his previous juggling act outside the window. Harry is not an actor. All he can do is embarrass himself. And the Queen. Is Meghan trying to conceal a lie from Harry? It was in Mark's video that the story about the nursery fire came after he had left. So, could it be possible that Meghan had come up with this lie but chose not to mention it until Harry had left? Meanwhile, Meghan was slammed by her half-sister for insulting Harry in her podcast. Appearing on GB News' Dan Wooten Tonight, she said, it was kind of odd. It sounded more like a seductive commercial of sorts. GB News' Dan then asked her, were you surprised that she tried to make out like she's some sort of repressed victim? To this, Samantha replied, this is my humble opinion. I'd rather lofty to suggest that the ability to align with issues of womanhood and suffering on those grounds. She did bring up the fact that she went to Immaculate Heart School and that they were empowered by the nuns. But wait a minute, who paid? That was all my dad. So let's face it, we're not raised in a vacuum, we have to include the men when we're self-glorifying. But Samantha accused her half-sister of a deluded level of entitlement and hit out at Meghan for emasculating Prince Harry. Referring to the moment in the podcast where the Duke makes a cameo appearance, Samantha added, after the wedding was over, it felt as though Harry was in her shadow. Why have him in it at all? He's not being included. I felt it was kind of insulting to have him included. As per the Spectator, the archetypes of Meghan and Harry are, Meghan, it goes without saying, is viewed by many, particularly here in Britain following her fallout with the royal family, as a perfect fit for that archetype of the woman who will stop at nothing to get where she believes she should be, and who is prepared ruthlessly to tread over anything and anyone who stands in her path. Harry too is increasingly viewed as being a fully signed up member of the archetype of the terminally dim and entitled noble, too thick to realise that his wife controls him, a character that's popped up repeatedly in literature for centuries.